Yeah. What's going on? What's going on? Another episode of the interview with Rome tonight. Very special guest, a brother I've known, what I'm saying, since I was probably since before I hit puberty. You know what I mean? We've been doing this that thing. We played on the same Hoop It Up team as kids. So me and Jay go back like I don't know, say to probably about when we were like 11, 12 time frame. But yeah, the brother I got to you tonight is my man Jason. He's got something very interesting, man, very eye opening for not just our people but the people. You know what I'm saying? So without further ado, I introduce y'all to Jason. Yo, Jay, what up, baby?
Hey, what's going on, man? What's going on?
Yeah,
Listen, that's a hell of an introduction. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Of course, man. You know what I mean? Like I said, I can remember the first time, that I met you, God bless the dead, of course, Mac,
Yeah.
being over his house, and then, like my cousin Jason coming by, we're just gonna play. I think he was probably just playing basketball or two square inside the garage or something like that. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, this was the days. I remember you and Mac used to compete like in Jordans and stuff like that. I never really, but my folks wasn't about to get damn Jordans, but it was cool. It was cool to see them. You know what I'm saying? Like to see the different shoes and stuff like that. But of course, bro, I wanna I'll give you the floor and just let the people know who is Jason.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, no, again, I appreciate that, and definitely, God bless the dad, man. Mac is the reason that we know each other, man, and he was an incredible dude, man. But yeah, so who is Jason? I guess if I had to really quantify that, man, first and foremost, I'm a father. 6 children, right?
Amen to that.
My daughter, 15. I got 2 13-year-olds, an 11-year-old, and then I got these twins. They're 3. So, I'm a father first, man.
Awesome, awesome, bro.
Yeah, definitely appreciate it. And then after that, man, who I am as a person is, I'm a person who looks out and I see, what it really truly means to be black in America. And, one of the things that, I've been doing over the course, really since my entire adulthood, is trying to reach across the aisle and just help as many people as I can. So, outside of being a father, I said, the second thing I would really use to describe myself is a caregiver to people, man.
All right. Well, of course, man. That was great way to break you in. Now we're gonna get into like some particulars and then get into some more stuff. But I want to say, so where did you grow up, bro?
Oh man, I'm a Tidewater native, Virginia Beach is on 757.
Yes,
man,
sir.
Virginia.
Yeah, man. Of course, you're a Navy brat like myself. You know
Yes,
what I'm saying? My folks, we moved to Virginia in '95. I don't know when you guys had came to Virginia. I know like you, Darius.
I was born in Portsmouth.
You okay? Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
Born in
and raised,
P-Town.
man.
Born in P-Town. All right.
Yes, sir.
So I do, if I can recall, correct me if I'm wrong, but both I would say you, Mac, and Darius, y'all all grew up somewhat in Norfolk, right?
Yeah, so actually it's a funny story, man, and I don't want to bore the audience, but it's one that's near and dear to my heart. So, obviously all of us Navy brats, man, Darius, Matt, myself, you, and but when the way I met Mac and Darius was I was going to school out there at the Naval Base in Norfolk. Me and my mom, we lived out in Hampton. And, it was just a little bit too much for her to be able to try to get me to school in Hampton and have to be on a base at 6 a.m. So she found somebody that was watching kids. Of course, that was Mac's mom because she worked with Mac's dad.
Yeah.
And Mac's mom started watching me when I was 5 years old. Darius, obviously lived right out there in the neighborhood, so I've known him since I was 5 as well. And we just became thick as thieves. I mean, as far as the world was concerned, me and Mac were brothers.
Yeah.
And that's just how it was, man. And, we didn't even feel comfortable introducing ourselves as friends as we started to get older. We either cousins or brothers, and that's the only way the world knew us.
Yeah, I could that because that's how I met you. As far as like, I just remember Max say, "Yeah, my cousin Jason's supposed to be coming. This weekend. And that's pretty much what it would be. It would always be like an announcement, like whenever you would be coming for the weekend. And of course, we all used to cut up whether we was inside playing Nintendo 64 or outside. Playing ball or playing football, man, or chasing skirts. However it went, man. We did as young boys. Yeah, exactly. Then they have daughters. That karma's a bitch, man.
Hey, listen, I'm avoiding it so far. Brother.
Well, I got a 14-year-old, man, so I'm right there with you with this this high school stuff. It's like seeing them sprout out and have curves and basically become a woman, man, but still be a child at the same time. It's like
that's where the struggle is.
Yeah, you remember when they were begging you to go to Chuck E. Cheese, and now they are damn near asking for money to get clothes and stuff like that. I don't know how Christmas is going at your house.
Man, my daughter called herself. She was like, "Look, I want to go to the gym. Can I drive?" Right? So that's where we at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's driving me to the places she wants to go. So yeah.
Well, that's a good start.
It's an adjustment.
Yeah, it's an adjustment because like I said, man. I think the moment I had where I knew that Kira was no longer still always be my baby, but like as far as like a baby, I took her and my goddaughter to the mall, right? And they were going to get their nails done. I was like, I just let them do what they do. And I'm sitting back and I see my kid. She's sitting there like it's like looking at a grown person getting their nails done. I'm just like, fuck, man. I used to take this child to like Chuck E. Cheese and, win all these games with her. And now she's getting her nails, done, man. And then, I let her drive. Well, I let her drive my mom's car. My mom ever hear this interview, she probably cuss my ass out.
Yeah.
But yeah. But yeah, she drove. I let her drive my mom's car, and she did well. She actually did pretty good. You know what I'm saying? I told her the only like, I don't know if you take, of course you got to drive you everywhere you want to go, but like that first time I was like, babe, you just don't want to panic. I don't care what you do, you don't panic. You got my life and your life in your hand. You know what I'm saying?
So don't panic.
Yeah, exactly. Do not panic. That's the only thing I can do. And she was, you can definitely see she was stiff with the wheel, but it'll come with time. And I think
you got to get comfortable with it. I mean, I tell you, at this point, we've only gone driving like 4 times so far. I mean, the time from the first to the fourth, man, it's night and day, man. But it's a process. It's one that she's gonna have to perfect, man. Because if she ever want to get the keys and roll up out of here, I need to know that she's gonna be able to do it right. So we got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, man. All right, well, let's try to get into the nitty gritty, man. So, what made you want to start your business, and let the folks know what your business is, man? And yeah, the floor is yours.
All right. So the business is Make Africa Home Again. Website's makeafricahomeagain.org. Listen, well, before I even kind of jump into that, let me give you a little bit of backstory.
Okay.
So, my wife is she's an incredible woman. She's one of those people who she's very curious, right? And what I mean by that is she wants to research and understand. And anything that she's interested in, she has to dig like she's a encyclopedia Brown, right? And a few years ago, she really wanted to kind of get into the origin of Black people, right? Because when you think about Blacks in America, we're the only race of people. We can't really call anything home. We can't say we're from Africa, right? They don't really accept us. So at least that's what we're told. It's hard to be American, right? You get shot dead in the street by the cops, and very rarely, do they get prosecuted for that. So you're Black. It's like, well, where am I from, right? The Jamaicans who are Black, they want to claim Jamaica. The Blacks that are in Brazil, they want to say I'm Brazilian. But the reality is, you understand that we all come from somewhere, and where is that place? And So I say all that to say, go back to the research, and really we started kind of understanding how that disconnect started to come about, how we started to kind of be disconnected from the continent, the richest continent in the world when it comes to resources, and how we started to look at that place like, oh man, don't say I'm from Africa, right? Because Africa's full of poor people and poverty and AIDS and diseases and all these different things. And the reality is, Africa is one of the most beautiful places in the world, right? It has the most exotic animals on the planet, most beautiful beaches in the world. When you start to look at Kenya and Tanzania and Zanzibar, again, I already talked about the resources. You talk about the amount of wealth that continent has to offer, and then you look at the people, right? So in America, I think 13% of the population, in Africa is dramatically different. So, as Black people, man, we feel like a minority, man. We just kind of feel like we're behind the 8 ball. And, so that's kind of how the journey started. At that point, we said, you know what, as we started to really kind of hone into our roots, man, we said, what if we were able to really bring people back to their roots, connect them with the abundance of resources that Africa has to offer, connect them with the abundance of people that Africa has to offer. That's where Make Africa Home it was kind of born. That's where the idea, the concept came from. And then we created this company. I mean, right now, what are we doing, right? We selling hats, but we're not a hat company. Right. John, I don't want you to get it twisted, man. I don't sell hats.
All right.
But what we are is a company that is just a company now. Got a 501c3 pending. We're going to turn it into a nonprofit. Once we get this nonprofit going, I'm going to start looking out there for donors. What I'd like to do is start to put together events where we can throw passport parties, get people who live over here, encourage them to get their passports, help them do it, right? We're going to start to organize trips where we start to maybe look at Ghana and look at Kenya, look at Tanzania, look at these different places where there's so many resources over there, and take entrepreneurs that are here in the States and connect them with those resources that are over in Africa. So now you're helping two people, right? You're helping the people that are over there that need jobs and opportunities, and then you're helping the people in the States who have businesses that they want to see grow. Because what people fail to realize is, if you stop just looking at your own backyard and saying, hey, man, how do I make a business work here?
Yeah.
Man, there's an entire continent that's untouched, right? So now you can make a business really turn and grow at an exponential rate if you start to just look at your own people. And that's really what this company is about, man. It's about creating an organization, much like what the NAACP did, right? But it's not about the advancement of colored people, right? No, this is about taking people who have been disconnected from their home and reconnecting them spiritually, culturally, financially, with the place in which we all come from. Because if you got melanin in your skin, I don't care what you say about Africa, my brother, you from there. Yep. And that's just the reality.
Yeah, man, that's awesome, man. That's an awesome thing that you're doing right there. Like I said, not just for our people, but the people, and educating us, for some of us that may not even know, anything about Africa or our origin. You know what I'm saying? Because it's, again, we've of course, the history that we were raised upon was definitely not. It did not, key in on our impact that we've had in America, and clearly we wouldn't have America without us, because we were we're the laborers. You know what I'm saying? We were the ones doing all the work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, listen, I'm amazed by what my kids learn in school, right? And I say let me put a caveat out there. I love all people. I love white people. I love Asians. I love Black people. This is not about hatred of any group.
No.
But it's about a recognition of a reality. Man, my kids go to school every single day. And they sit in history class every single day. And as a Black young lady or a Black young male, they don't learn about their history. They learn about the history which literally strips them of an identity. And it blows my mind, because I don't understand how that is even still possible. But what I've started to realize is just think if it was reversed, right? How do you teach that? You know, the white people that are walking around today ain't have nothing to do with slavery, man. They ain't have nothing to do with bringing people from the slave coast and tracking them across the Atlantic. That's not what they did, right? So rather they have this privilege that they understand and don't understand, you know, they're doing the best they can with the resources they have. So I get it. You know what I mean? So it's really it's incumbent upon us as Black people to do the research for ourselves, to, you know, educate our children, to give them a sense of worth, right? Because when you start to think about just the prison system, right, where we're 13% of the population, 80% of the prison population is insane. And I could be a little off on those numbers, man, but it's pretty close,
the point is made. The point drives home always.
Yeah, so when you start to think about that, it's like, well, what is that, right? Are Black people incapable of being stand-up citizens? Are they incapable of, you know, making money? Are they incapable of staying out of trouble? And, you know, I mean, if you're a brother, I'm a brother, you know the answer to that. We're absolutely capable of it, but the odds are stacked against us, and that's when it's important. That's why it's important for us, you know, the ones who have kind of figured out how to navigate this world, to reach back across the aisle and educate the rest, right? Because if we're not pulling each other up, ain't nobody else gonna do it, you know. And it's a cliche term, man, but you hear it all the time. Until all of us are free, none of us are free, and that's just how it works.
Yes, indeed. All right. Well, now that we know what made you want to start the business, now I want to know, how hard is it to start a business, or start particularly, how hard was it to start your business, or how easy was it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know what? Starting a business is relatively easy in reality, but it's hard. It's hard when you you know, really kind of start to piece things together, right? Because we gotta pay bills, right? What I would tell anybody listening to this is, if you're going to start a business, do something you're passionate about.
Indeed, man.
If you're passionate about it, it's not work, right? Because, I mean, what time is it, John? I mean, it's midnight right now.
Indeed.
We're chopping it up, you know what I'm saying? I already put 12 hours in the day. Wow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know you did the same thing. So when you start to think about what we're doing right now, though, I don't feel like I'm working. But you know what I am doing? I'm promoting something that's important to me, and I'm passionate about it. So I have the ability to speak about it without it feeling like it's something that's taken away from, you know, my free time or my time to be in the bed or whatever the case may be. Yeah. So I mean, you know, it's difficult to stay motivated, especially when it doesn't start to yield revenue results for you. But again, if you're doing something that's passionate, don't worry about the money. The money will come. Just keep doing what you care about. You know, make a difference. Make sure it has a meaning behind it. And, you know, at the end of the day, man, you'll see that thing grow and you'll see it blossom.
Yeah. Yes, sir. So I would say within the business, or maybe just life in general, man. So what hurdles did you personally face, and how did you overcome them?
Yeah. So I mean, we're still relatively new, man, and you know, even in that new phase of where we're at, you know, there are a lot of hurdles, right? You know, how do you find the time to invest in this when you still have your regular job out there, right? You know, how do you find the time to put the amount of work that it takes to, you know, bring something from an idea to a reality? So I think that was the biggest hurdle. And the way we overcame that was just really believing in the vision of what we're doing. You know, it's a lot of mornings, man, waking up at 5 a.m., you know, putting in those hours before you go to your regular job. And then, you know, on your lunch break, you know, calling and collaborating. You know, I do this with my wife. I can't do it without her. This is our baby. And,
right.
You know, the reality is, man, there's so much passion behind what we're doing. We wrote out a plan. You know, we know what those steps look like. Yeah, and I think I told you earlier in the podcast, right? You know, we're not a hat company, but we're starting with hats. So why are we starting with hats? Because we're starting with an idea. You know, you take that idea, you know, we put it out there, man. We did a little photo shoot, you know, in the first, I don't know, a couple hours, man. You know, sold almost 50 hats, right? That's not a lot, you know, but when you start to think about, you know, just the reality behind bringing awareness to something and how you can affect that kind of result by just putting your idea out there into the universe. I mean, it just shows that there are people that are interested in what we're trying to do. And being that that we're trying to create a business that is for the people, for the culture, and it connects the people, and anybody who begins to become a part of this movement, they're going to become more aware, they're going to become more educated, they're going to see more opportunities present themselves. It's a beautiful thing.
All right. Well, let me see here. So knowing yourself, I mean,
Yeah.
what are you not very good at doing?
What am I not very good at doing? Staying organized on task, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that'd probably be the biggest thing, man. It's hard, man. Like I said, I have 6 kids, right? How do you stay focused with 6 kids, you know? That'd probably be my biggest area of opportunity. But I tell you, John, what's crazy is I don't focus on the things I'm not good at. You know, I know what I am good at.
Yeah.
And what's crazy about that is, you know, I tell people all the time, you know, focus on what you're good at and do that better than anybody else. Nobody remembers Michael Jordan for the things he wasn't good at. They remember him for being the best basketball player to ever touch a basketball.
Yes, sir.
Who cares what he wasn't good at? I don't care about his gambling problems. I don't care about the fact that he smoked cigars, cheated on his wife. That ain't my business. Nope. He was the best basketball player of all time. When you think about that man, that's what you think about.
And we gonna, I'm gonna hold on. I want you to hold on to that Michael Jordan statement towards the end of this. Just we go get into that for again for the people that's real, like they got short term memory. Yeah. So let's see what next we want to go to. All right. So tell me something, and based off of this, you know, I would say this idea, not even an idea, but what we know to be about the history of our people that is not really preached in schools. So tell me something that's true that almost nobody agrees with you on.
One, we're the original people, and everybody does know that, but nobody connects that to what that really means. Most people, and I don't want to get religious on your audience, man, but hey, you asked me a question, I can only speak
Yes, sir. I only want the truth, baby. The floor is yours. You say whatever you feel.
Most people believe in God, so most people identify with Christianity, but most people refuse to read the Bible. And if you read the Bible, there is something that is more prevalent than anything else, because the Bible literally, it delivers 3 messages. 1, believe in God, have faith. 2, love is God, right? So if you don't carry love in your heart, there's no way that you believe in God. And 3, God's chosen people are the children of Israel. The black people are the only people on this planet that fit every single prophecy in the Bible. So he asked me, what do most people not know or don't agree with? They look at these Jews, and I don't want to be anti-Semitic. I am not trying to do that.
Right.
Most Jewish people don't even say that they're Christians anyway. And they stop making connections about who the Bible is talking about. And the Bible talks about the children of Israel. It talks about the plight that was put upon us because of decisions that we made throughout history, and how that will turn, and how once we have basically served our time in God's eyes, we will be returned to the top. There's a reason that black people keep running on this treadmill, but as a whole can't get ahead. You go to any country on this planet and you find black people, you're going to find that they are the poorest. They are the ones that are struggling the most, right? And it's not, I mean, it's in every country. It doesn't matter. Pick one. It doesn't matter. We are the tail. We are not the head. However, that shit is over. You understand? And because that time is over, there's awakening that is happening, and people are starting to understand who they truly are. And even if you're not religious, I still want you to dig into your soul and understand that just because you are black does not mean you are cursed. You are black, you are beautiful. We are typically the most athletic. We are typically the ones that show how intelligent we are. They soar past everybody else. There's something special about the secret sauce that is in this melanin. And again, I don't want to go too deep into that, but yeah, that's the answer to your question.
That's awesome.
We are the Hebrews, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I truly believe that as well, man. So, even though we did get into some biblical stuff, man, I'm gonna ask you this question next. What's your favorite curse word?
Fuck, shit, damn, fuck is the one. The F word. That's mine, man.
Yeah.
That's mine. And by the way, It's funny. I don't even feel bad about that transition, right? Because again, it's about reading the Bible, man. Won't nobody in the Bible perfect.
Yeah.
Some of God's favorite people, man. You talk about David. Obviously everybody knows the story of David and Goliath. But what few people realize is David was so lustful after this woman that he wanted that he put his best friend on the front line in war because he was the king to die in battle because he coveted his wife. This is one of God's favorite people. So, God don't expect us to be perfect. God expects us to love Him. He expects us to be humble in our hearts. You know what I mean? So, yeah, my favorite word is fuck, 100%.
Yeah. Let's see. All right. Yeah. Well, my favorite curse word, just I get it from my father, is motherfucker. Yeah, that's like motherfucker. Like that was my dad would always say motherfucker. Like that was his like or he'll cut it off and be like fucker or whatever. So pretty much FUCKA fucker. Yeah, man. Yeah, indeed, man. But I get to share his name. I'm pretty much I'm John Robert McAllister III. He's John Robert Jr. So love you, Pop. Pretty much picked up a lot of things. You'd be surprised, how much you pick up everything and what your parents have done, and realize how much you're just like them. You know what I'm saying? Like you I want to say not say imitate, but you just pick up a lot of common traits.
But I mean, you represent your parents, man. That's why I'm so mindful of the man I try to show my kids. I had my kids early, so
yeah.
My early 20s, I don't know that I was the best example of a man. I was a good dad, but I don't know how great of an example of a man I was.
Right.
But obviously I'm in my 30s now, so I've learned a lot, and I just watch. I mean, my oldest son, he'll be 14 next month. Everything he does, man, from the way he ties his shoe, I'm just like, man, you trying to be like me so bad, huh? He just laughs it off. But it's true. Man. It's true.
I bet their fashion game must be tight, just like you guys were back in the day. Well, I say most of us were back in the day, man.
Yeah, way flyer than me, man.
Yeah.
I don't even. He called himself telling me the other day that I fell off, man.
Wow.
He said, I remember when you used to dress like this and wear this and wear that. When you fell off, man, you're not even fly no more.
Wow.
I'm like, whoa. I'm not what?
Man, yeah, you feel it. Yeah, baby boy feeling himself just a little bit.
You know what I told him. Now I'm like, look, I said, what you fail to realize, and it's something that you appreciate when you get older. My only job in this world is to make sure y'all straight.
Yeah.
If you think that I can have 6 kids and have y'all looking how y'all want to look and doing the things y'all want to do, and going on the trips that y'all want to go on, and seeing the places that I want y'all to see, that I could do all of that and still realistic. I say, you got the whole game messed up, brother. I was like, listen, the material things don't mean nothing to me. Y'all are my story. You know what I mean? So the better y'all doing, the flyer I am. So
hell yeah,
he'll get it one day.
Yeah, man. All right, well, you gave pretty much a background on the business and stuff like that, but what do you feel is your purpose in this life?
So God got a calling on me, man. And again, it's hard for me not to talk about God because of what I've been through. A lot of your listeners don't know. I know we talked about my brother Mac, man, and but what a lot of people don't understand is when he died, right? My cousin was out there too. My cousin died that night as well.
Yeah.
I was stabbed with the same knife that took his life, 4 times in my back. I actually got to experience what it was like to die. I was as close to death as, you can go without going. And, I think that was a wake-up call for me, man. It was just one of those things where I say, I don't deserve to be here. So if I'm going to be here, I'm going to make my life mean something that has some sort of purpose behind it. And, that's what it is, man. I just want to help as many people as I can. And again, that's not limited to Black people. I mean, I don't care if you, a Mexican, it doesn't, I don't care what you are. I just want to help people be better. I want to help people grow and advance, it just so happens that I'm Black. So I'm going to put a lot of energy and focus into these Black communities because that's what's near and dear to my heart. That's what I know, But yeah, man, I just want to help people. I want to see everybody prosper.
Right.
You know, God wrote the laws of His life on my heart, man, and you know, I've figured out how to live and how to have true happiness and joy in my heart, and I just want to give that to as many people as I can.
Yeah, and I want to touch on what you just said, man, as far as like helping other communities and just helping people in general, but starting with us. Well, we're not able to pour from an empty cup, and we're clearly, you know, our people clearly do. We need to build ourselves up, man, because we put a lot of money into a lot of different communities besides our own. You know what I'm saying? Like, again,
100%.
you know, you have the liquor stores that are in our communities are probably owned by owned by Asians or owned by, you know, a Jewish family. We have like hair stores owned by Asians in our communities. That money's going back into the Asian community. But then when it comes to us, some of us, I didn't say not all of us, but some of us tend to like want to get that handout. You know what I'm saying? Not wanting to pay full price and actually, or even just believing and supporting your own. You know what I'm saying? Like we've been like brainwashed to not support each other and just kind of like go for self, kind of like crabs in the barrel type thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So I think that's twofold, right? And I think the reason behind that, you know, it goes back to slavery and the idea that you pit all of us against each other, because, you know, the easiest way to control a group is to have them not be solidified, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the other part of that is naturally, you know, as much as we like to shine and glow and do all those different things, I don't know that Black people are natural capitalists. It's not what we want to do. Like, we like to bargain and trade. That's how we do it when you really think about it, right? So, you know, but what we have to start doing is realizing that, hey, you know, if there's businesses out here, let's support. Let's bring our money back to our people. But on the flip side of that, you know, Black people, man, if you open up a business, don't half step it, man. How often do you see, you know, a Black business, you know, take a shortcut? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then what happens is people start to see negativity and associated with the entire Black community. Like, what Black people have to start understanding is we carry a burden that's way bigger than us. You understand? Like, everything you do, man, you're a representation of your ancestors, the people in your community. So when you make it out, you can't fuck up. When you have an opportunity to start a business, you got to do it better than everybody else. You get you a corporate job, you got to be 10 times better than everybody else. And you're not willing to wear that responsibility on your head, don't do it, because your failure is all of our failures, and that's just the reality.
Yes, sir. So where do you find inspiration?
Inspiration, you know, I find it every day. I find it in my wife. You know, she inspires me. She makes me want to be better. You know, she's just a dope individual, man, and I definitely would say that she drives a lot of the power behind me.
Yeah. I love how highly you speak of your wife, man. So what the people, I'm sure they want to know is, how did you meet this amazing woman?
Yeah, so I used to be in the Navy, man. So like you, went from being a military brat to serving, right?
Yeah.
And I met her in the Navy. At a crazy time. I just got divorced from my wife that you know, I was with from the time I was like 17. And you know, we just became really good friends, man. We were friends for probably 2 years before we ever called ourselves dating, and we just built a bond that really worked. You know, we get along. You know, that's my homie for real.
Yeah, that's love, right? That's love right there, man. When you find somebody that you consider, you know, basically to be your best friend. That's really what you aim to do. You know, somebody that believes in you. You know, you can confide in. You know, you can trust, and you know, you guys you roughly take on the world together. So, you know, I definitely
exactly, and that's how we feel. Man.
Yeah,
that Bonnie and Clyde shit is real over here.
Yeah, and I respect that, man. You know, that's what we all want to strive towards having, and like when you find something like that, man, you have to do whatever you can to really hold on to that. I'm sure, of course, you know, like we've we've had our time to like again to be with so like again again growing up just talking to just girl after girl and stuff like that, but to have that one that like that stands out and it's just like, yo, I don't want to fuck this up. This is this is the one, this is the one for me, man. So I'm thankful that you were able to find that for yourself and your family, man. And I can, even just from the conversation we've had, I can see the impact that not only your wife but your kids have had on you. And I want to say definitely as again one of your brothers from from back in the day, man. I'm proud of the man that you've become, and I'm even more proud of the man that you're going to be in the future. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, that's big, man. I really appreciate that.
No doubt.
And definitely, man. It's the same about you. Now obviously you're the one interviewing, man, but what you're doing is big, and I'm excited to see where you go with this.
Yeah.
You're natural for it, and it's cool when you can look back and just see people who you used to kick it with. I mean, before you even knew what you was doing in life. You know what I'm saying? And see them out there, man, just trying to make moves and do different things, and to give people a platform to talk about what they're trying to do is a big thing in and of itself, man. So I'm very proud of you too, man, and I'm very excited to see what you got going on in the future.
Bet. All right, bro. Well, get into some leisure stuff right now. So like, what do you do in your spare time when you're not working on the business? You're not at work, putting in, so many hours, when it's just like it's kickback time. What are some things? What's something that you like to do?
Besides drink? No, I'm joking. Yeah, man. I'm a sports guy, man. I'm a heavy Cowboy fan. That's my thing.
This interview just became over right now. No, man. Congrats on that win. Congrats on that. That was one hell of a win, man. Like, picking up Amari Cooper was like one of the best things you guys have ever done. And like I'm a natural rival because I'm a Niner fan, but overall, I love the game of football itself. So I mean, and I have to agree with Will Kane from ESPN First Take that the NFL season is a lot more interesting when the Dallas Cowboys are winning.
Say it again.
You know what I'm saying? That is, we'll repeat this for every fan who's probably turned off the show now because we've mentioned this love for Cowboys. But again, the NFL season is so much more entertaining when the Cowboys are actually winning. You know what I'm saying? And that's, again, we know that your owner loves the spotlight. He loves, you know what I'm saying, it to be about the Dallas Cowboys. But when that team is on, bro, like, it's, again, just for me watching the league as a whole, it makes it very much more interesting. And I would love to see you guys have like a Cinderella type story where it's like beginning of the year, oh, we don't know if Dak is even good enough to even play. Jerry needs to step down.
Dak isn't good enough.
Yeah.
Dak is. But you want to know what Dak is? He's committed. Dak is dedicated. He's a hard worker. He's a genuine dude, and he doesn't have to be good enough yet because that defense is phenomenal.
Yeah.
He has a lot of pieces around him that can carry him. So I'm not saying that he don't have a future.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But today he ain't good enough, right? I mean, let's just call a spade a spade. But that team has potential, man. I don't know how far they'll go. There's been a lot of wins that have come by way of luck, but being a Cowboy fan and a loyal Cowboy fan, listen, my youngest son's name is Dallas, so I'm with it for real.
Respect,
you know what I'm saying?
Respect, right there, man. And I didn't mean to cut you off on the Dallas part, but I had to mess with y'all about that. But what else do you do? Like you were saying that you do in your spare time. Of course, you watch the sports, but anything else you wanted to lay on the folks?
Yeah, not really, right? I mean, it's pretty simple. Outside of the kids, the fam, sport, I'm working, man. And it sounds cliche, man, but you don't have a lot of time on this earth, man. And if we're not traveling and as a family and just trying to be more cultured and letting our hair down a little bit, man, we on that grind, man. We just trying to make it happen.
Oh man. So, all right, bro. So we got what you're doing the spare time. Obviously, you know your favorite team is the Dallas Cowboys, but so what type of music you listen to these days?
Yeah, so music is hard for me, man. It's hard to listen to the radio. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Telling me, man.
So when I typically get in the car, man, I turn on iHeartRadio and I listen to ESPN and so. But if I'm gonna jam out and actually listen to some music, I still got Jay-Z in constant rotation. I still got Usher in constant rotation. I feel like I'm stuck in the late '90s, early 2000s, man. Where when I felt like music was really true. I like what Meek Mill got going on today. I like what Drake got going on. Anytime Kendrick or J. Cole drop, of course, those are headbangers. Big Sean might catch my attention every now and again, but and these other young cats, man, they might drop a track every now and again that works. But as far as longevity, the only new cats that are out, J. Cole, Kendrick, Drake. Outside of that, man, everybody else, I don't really know what they're talking about.
Yeah, we just don't really relate to it. I guess being a music historian, especially a rap historian, of course, again, that's our time frame that we rolled up on. Like when we were just getting out of elementary school, Wu-Tang had already had a name. Tribe Called Quest was on the end. Busta came out with like the Flip Mode Squad, and just we come from a time frame where you had your party records, you had your party records, but you also had lyricism, and that's what a lot of the kids get knocked for today, that they're not lyrical, and there's evidence that you're not lyrical. Clearly,
I'm gonna tell you the difference between us and the young cats, right? So Pusha still make music. He don't have nearly as much fanfare as he had when we were younger. But got a track like this, and I go grind, and he already know what it is.
That
right?
is the cafeteria. That was the cafeteria anthem.
That's the cafeteria joint, right? Or I hit you with a I'm from Virginia, where ain't shit to do but cook.
You know it, man.
You know what it is. So Pusha been dope, man. Like the music's just different, man. There ain't no. It's hard, man. I don't want to turn on the radio and hear half the shit I hear, so I don't listen to it. And it's crazy because my kids they feel about the music today like we felt about it back then, right? And I'm pretty sure my mom, because I remember my mom, I don't always listen to the drop shit. Like I remember her saying, you know what I'm saying? So I try to avoid sounding like the old dude. But,
yeah.
When they're in the car, they're like, "Yo, turn the music up," and I hear them bang out, and I'm like, all right, it's catchy. I get it. They just ain't talking about nothing. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. The cultures change and the music changes, and I hope that the kids are able to separate entertainment from reality. I guess that's my biggest hope for them. But outside of that, man, it is what it is.
Yeah. Just at least for me, I don't knock the kids on the music today. I won't even call it kids because again, there's probably some of them might be maybe 5 years younger than us that are out right now. Like I give Migos are probably like maybe 5, 8. They probably got 5 to 8 years younger than we are, but. I mean,
they're definitely kids.
Yeah, yeah. They
grown men. No disrespect to the Migos.
Like
I respect their hustle.
They don't, from what I understand, they don't really know how to carry a concert, though. You know what I'm saying? And we come from a time frame where people used to go. Was it what was the fest that used to happen? The 103 Jams used to throw Jam Fest.
Afran Fest?
Afran Fest or Jam Fest. I think it was just Jam Fest.
It's damn, I can't think of it.
I think it was just called Jam Fest, right? Didn't it used to be called Jam Fest? But
Jam Fest, that's what it was.
But you had to rock the crowd, you know what I'm saying? That energy, like again, like you see like how Busta gets on stage, man. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Ain't nobody got more energy on a rap stage than Busta Rhymes, man. Like he commands.
Daddy, Puff.
Oh, he can dance his ass off, but that energy that Busta brings.
Got more energy. Yeah, Diddy, because you think about it, like Busta could actually flow. Diddy can't even rap, and you'll go to his concert. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, keep the people dancing, man. And he always came with something that made you like, oh, we're gonna do the new Puff Daddy dance or whatever. Like we'd be at like the middle school dances and see him in like that Biggie Total video for Can't You See, and try to emulate what he did. And it just like for me, they have dances. The shit looks weird to me, but it just ain't for us. I gotta remember these kids that are emulating these dances are between the ages of like 13 and I don't know 20, go 25. Like that one shit, like Odell Beckham always does that shit when they throw the fist up and the kick at the same time. I don't know these dances. Don't know the name of it. But that's the shit that's hot right now. When it's on though, it looks dope. But I just don't see my old ass doing it.
Listen, this shit is dope. What dances we used to do, the Harlem Shake.
Yep.
That's
high school. That was high school time frame, but
all kind of shit, little shimmies. The reality is all of this shit is recycled. It's just
of course, ain't nothing new.
And go through it. Michael Jackson had all these movies before all of us.
Nothing new under the sun, man.
No, sir.
Nothing new under the sun, man. So we'll keep on the sports thing, man. So what's your favorite NBA team?
Yeah, so basketball is different than football for me. Like I'm a Cowboy fan. Like I'll die a Cowboy fan. Basketball, I'm more about the players because I love the sport of basketball. Like I just, I hoop. You know what I'm saying? So I love to watch it. So I love what I love, and I fell in love with Kobe Bryant. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just the truth.
Kobe Bean.
So I rocked with the Lakers, and then he left, and I just rocked with basketball, and then LeBron came back to LA, and I said, you know what, that feels good to me. so I guess I'm gonna claim the Lakers and call that out. But yeah, really with basketball, I'm just a fan of the sport. I don't care what team it is, man. If you're all out there grinding and balling and you playing basketball the right way, I love to watch it.
Yeah. The game, I say, just to touch on a little bit of what you're saying about the NBA. I've been a Bulls fan since I can remember, and I ain't ever left. I'm ups and downs. We just lost by 50 fucking points to the Boston Celtics over the weekend, and I'm still right here. We haven't.
Coach, I might as well have 0 wins on the year. Y'all not good.
Yeah,
y'all not good at all.
Not at all. Not at all. We got dunk contest winners on the team, but that ain't gonna get us to the promised land.
That ain't gonna get you no W's. Though.
No, not at all. I mean, he did a nice dunk tonight, and we still lost. The Sacramento 109 to like 88, I believe, or I think it's 109-88, and
Sacramento sucks. So
yeah,
that says a lot.
Exactly, man. We ain't got. There's not much happening for me, but I want to ask you, being an NBA fan, a person that loves to play basketball, do you feel like we're putting too much emphasis on the outside shot?
No. If you're good at it, do it. The only people that are putting too much emphasis on are people that ain't good at it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Look, we all used to play 21. What you used to do when you got tired? Start launching shots and hoping that one went in.
Oh, yeah.
But now you got real life sharpshooters out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got cats that'll pull it up. If nobody's in their face, they hitting it from 30 feet all day. Hey, look, it's still fun. Cats are still driving, but what they got rid of is a lot of those, 17, 18 footers. They're gone. That's not really in the game anymore. But cats are still getting banged on every night. Cats are still getting crossed up every night. But if they gonna pull it, they're pulling it further. I mean, I just think it's a beautiful thing to see.
Yeah. Like for me, I would love. They do they say like is basketball a lot softer than it was that kind of like the NBA that we came up on. I'd have to agree. And Kobe has said the same thing. Kobe and Shaq have had that conversation when Kobe was on Shaq's podcast, which is can be very fun. That's a fun podcast to listen to as well if you ever get a chance to check that out.
I sure will.
Yeah, they do games and stuff like that. But they also Shaq will talk. How he feels about things that's going on in the league, and he just feels like a lot of these guys are very soft, and he still hates the Dwight Howard to this very fucking day for being compared to him as Superman. Far from it.
Yeah, but
Far from
it's a
Superman.
horrible comparison, man. It's a horrible comparison. Shaq he was a Mack truck. Dwight Howard, man, he's soft as pie, man.
Yeah, I hear again. We live in a very sensitive climate, but supposedly, you know, he got that transgender shit going on. We don't know what to make
Well,
of it.
listen, here's all I would say about it. You know, power to the man. If you
If
gay, you
that's what
gay.
you
And,
do,
you
yeah.
know,
I mean, if
do
that's
your
what you're
thing,
into,
but
yeah,
don't live in that closet, though, man.
yeah,
Don't live in that closet, because you know, and a lot of times cats get confused, like, oh, well, you don't like gay people, and you're homophobic. Nah. Really, I don't care. Yeah, do you? Live your life, live your best life. Matter of fact, right?
yeah,
But don't live in that closet, though. You can't live in the closet, man.
right.
You know. So yeah, but it is what it is. I heard the video, man. I know what happened. Everybody know.
Yeah, man. The shit wild to me because they said this motherfucker is like a 6'11", like a 7-foot bottom though. That motherfucker too damn. That's the shit wild. You know, again, I don't like you said. The gays, transgenders. I think you all should get the equal rights that you deserve and all of that shit. But that's a big ass gay dude if that's what it is. Like real shit. I don't know.
Listen,
I'm not saying there should be a height requirement, but damn, if like you suck, that's overpowering, dude. Like a 7-foot dude, that's like, you know what I'm saying, into you.
yeah, no, that's a. Oh man, you give me a visual. I don't need to see no more, man.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like that shit wild, bro. But yeah, like we said, man, Dwight, man, you know, hey, much respect. You're not playing basketball like you used to, so anymore. So whatever you got to start working on a business that's gonna last past basketball. Kind of like what LeBron doing. I gotta give mad props to LeBron
Yeah, but
going
LeBron
out.
is balling too, though.
Oh yeah,
But
shit.
listen,
He's averaging 28 points.
Huh?
He's averaging 28 points, man. The niggas damn near what? 34. He'll be 34 this month.
Yeah. Yeah, no, listen, LeBron's a dog, man. I think he's a gold standard of what it means to really be an athlete. He has all the bases covered, right?
Yeah.
You know, he's come in. You know, he's shown what it means to be a family man, stand up dude. You know, he got his wife, he got his kids, and you know, he stays out the headlines, and he allows his brand to impact the community, and you know, he's unapologetic about being himself. So I got a tremendous amount of respect for LeBron James. I get frustrated when people try to say he's the best basketball player to ever.
There we go. That's where I wanted you to. Yeah. There we go. Perfect.
I mean, I get frustrated when I say it, when I hear it, because here's the truth, though. I mean, I think it's all about what you like as far as the style is concerned, man. But you know, I mean, listen, LeBron is a dog. He is an absolute animal. You go to 8 straight finals. Can't nobody say shit about you. You are an amazing athlete. You know what I'm saying? But he don't have that one thing, that killer instinct to say, you know, if I needed you to be better than somebody right now, I need you to do it. And now he's starting to develop it. I ain't gonna lie. But he ain't always had that in him. I think he's the 3rd best player of all time. And that's it. And I think that's still a high compliment. Somebody told you you're the 3rd best person to ever do something in the entire world. That's not a shot at you. That's a compliment.
All right, now run it down. Run it down for me. You got him as third best player. So run number 1.
3rd best player of all time is LeBron James.
Number 1.
Second best player of all time is Kobe Bean Bryant.
Right.
Let me tell you why Kobe's better than LeBron. Kobe is better than LeBron because Kobe was smaller than LeBron. Kobe, when he won championships, he did it against better competition than LeBron did. Listen, LeBron has went to all these finals, but the reality is, if he played in the Western Conference, he wouldn't have went to that many finals. Kobe Bryant went to 3 straight finals in the Western Conference against Tim Duncan and his prime. I want to say that again. Kobe Bryant went to 3 straight finals in the Western Conference against Tim Duncan in his prime, who was the best power forward to ever play it. And his second best player on his team's name was Pau Gasol. I don't want to, like, what are we talking about? Like, I don't know what we're doing. He dropped 81 points in a game a month after he dropped 63. And then on his way out, just to say, remind y'all motherfuckers, don't ever forget, I'm going to give you 60 after tearing my Achilles and being damn near 100 million years old.
The drive.
You understand?
Yeah, the drive.
Bad man.
That dude's drive is just unbelievable, man. Kobe's drive was...
He's my favorite player to ever lace him up, man. I love Kobe Bryant.
He was just nasty, dude. Like, the way his game progressed throughout the years, and he kind of he transformed that game. Obviously, when he first came in, he was high flying. You know what I'm saying? Always above the rim, and then he learned that fadeaway shot towards like the end of his career.
Put you on my back, fade away.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And and the way he went out last game. I mean, granted, of course, the other team was like letting them do it, but I mean, they weren't shooting for him.
They weren't shooting for him.
You know what I'm saying? They might have allowed him to get some shots off, but they weren't shooting for him. That was all Kobe, man.
That was all Kobe.
Yeah.
I don't care how many times he shot it. None of that matters. Listen, I don't care, man. Kobe Bryant he was just incredible to watch. You knew every single night you were gonna get his best, and it was just amazing to see. And then the greatest basketball player of all time is Michael Jordan, man. Michael Jeffrey Jordan, man. There's no question. I don't know how people dispute it. MJ won 3 straight finals, quit basketball, played baseball, came back and won 3 straight. He transcended the sport. Yeah, you had players before him that, became, kind of icons like Dr. J and, Larry. Listen, Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time. People still will shoot each other dead in the street for this man's shoes, and it is 2018. I want to put that in perspective for you. He was drafted in 1984. Okay, you understand?
Yeah.
He was drafted before I was born. He was drafted before I was born, and people still acting a fool over this man's shoes today. Now, some of these people know what they're doing, some of them don't, but that just, you talk about an impact like that, the only other person who's had a greater impact on sports than Michael Jordan is Tiger Woods. That's it, and it's not even close.
Yep.
It's not even close.
But you see what community they come from.
Hey, you already, what I tell you about that secret sauce, man.
It's like, again, just that influence that we have, man. And then you would take, we can go back to what's the one shorty from Fox News, and she told LeBron to shut up and play. Like, we're good as long as we're playing, right? We're good as long as we're putting people in the stands and we're shucking and jiving and playing, doing all these shots. But as soon as we voice something, as far as how we feel or the lack thereof that our community gets in comparison to other community, or let's really just call it what it is, with white people with
right.
with rights. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, it's not one of my close friends explained, broke it down for me. Like, the rights are like, white supremacists think that rights are like pie. Just because I get my share doesn't take anything away from you. You know what I'm saying?
But listen, I say it all the time. White people, you do not have to be afraid of black people. We don't want nothing of yours. You're good. You can still have it all. The only thing that's going to happen if black people start to be better is that everybody is better. That's just how it works, man.
That's what it's going to be.
Works. Like, there's not going to be some sort of revolution where we're going to just go and kill all the white people. Like, if that was going to happen, black people would have been did that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Like, listen, despite everything we've been through, we're not built like that. Our hearts are not built like that. We are the most forgiving people on this planet, man. All we want is our share.
And
it's like, hey, while we out here trying to get it. Let's get it. You have black people in interracial relationships. You have black people that own companies that hire white people. You have black people that play for white owners on sports teams. I mean, listen, we are integrated, man. We are here. We're not going nowhere. So let's stop with this. If you are a white supremacist or a racist, just look in the mirror and say, why? Why do I hate them? What did they do? If anything, they should hate me, and they don't. So what's the problem?
Exactly, man.
We ain't never enslaved your people, man.
No, not at all.
Fed your children to alligators,
and they hate that. Some white people hate when you bring that shit up, man. Like they want you. It's so funny. Like some white people, not all white people, and let's be clear on that. So of course.
I can't remember what comedian said this, right? There's white people and then there's white people, right?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? like, when I say white people, I don't mean all white people.
Yeah.
I mean the white people.
Exactly.
Like, white people I'm talking about.
You know what I'm saying? It's like where they I done lost my damn train of thought. I was about to break down with that shit. Fuck it. It's all good. It'll come back to me, man. We'll just continue moving forward with that. We'll just continue moving forward with the interview. It come back to me. Fuck it, we'll jump back into it. And I just have to copy paste it and all that shit. So again, we're getting kind of roughly close. I'm gonna get some of this last leisure shit, and then we'll get into the closing questions. But all right, 3 again. You music connoisseur. Listening to music ever since, what I'm saying, again, we were little. Name 3 classic albums you have in your collection. Just only 3 of them.
My Way by Usher.
Right.
No Way Out, P. Diddy and the Family. All Eyes on Me, Tupac. And I gotta add Blueprint in there. I know you said 3, but I got 4.
Yeah. I'll give you 3 in return that kind of, I'll give you the childhood classic albums, the ones that affected me, the ones that stand out to me the most in from elementary, from me moving to Virginia to graduation. Yeah, the DMX, As Dark as Hell and Hell is Hot.
Yes, sir.
The first time I heard that, who was I with? Mac Hughes. I was over his house because I couldn't play that shit.
Listen, we used to bang that shit.
Yo, I'm telling you, when that fucking Rough Riders anthem hit, that shit was major, man. Like, really, the first time we heard him on at least first time I heard him, like that was raw, was that the Locks joint, Money, Power, Respect, and of course he had he had the anchor verse. You know what I'm saying? He went last or whatever, and I just heard it, 24 left until my death. And it's like the way he came on, his energy. I was just like, I was in love. I love the energy that X brought to a track. You know what I'm saying? And then the entire
he gave his soul on
everything, man. You felt
every song he made, man.
Felt that shit, bro. So DMX, As Dark as Hell is Hot. I'm gonna have to fuck with you on the Jay-Z Blueprint.
Yes, sir.
Cause
greatest album of all time.
We
can argue it all day.
What is the joint, the standout joint on that album for you?
Oh man, that's a hard question, man.
I got two joints.
The reason it's the greatest album of all time for me is because I didn't have to skip anything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The only track I would skip over really is Girls, Girls, Girls. Cause I don't care. You know what I'm saying?
That you got Girls, Girls, Girls. Mine is Jigga, Jigga, that nigga, Jigga. I do not.
No, I'm saying the one I would skip over.
Yeah, that's what, and that's the one I would skip.
The only track on there. That's the one you didn't like.
I do not. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that Trackmasters shit. No, that was too. I felt like that was the only track that did not fit the mood of that album.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm gonna tell you. So it's ironic because usually with Jay, my favorite tracks of him aren't gonna be the features, but he had M on Renegade, and it was just such a dope track because there's not a whole lot of smoke and mirrors on that track. It's just straight bars, man. And him and M, man, they just kind of went in. I fuck with that track. So that's probably my favorite track on the album. But yes, from start to finish, man, it's just that the album was a vibe, man.
Yeah.
You just rock it out. You know what I'm saying?
M fucked him up on his own shit. J shit was still dope, but M was just that fucking raw. I hate it. I hate the fact that Eminem's features are better than his albums.
Well, that's the thing when you're a true MC, because here's the thing. I mean, Eminem used to, I think I could be mistaken, but he might have been the first rapper to go diamond, right? So,
right.
M was a different kind of cat, man. His appeal was widespread, and even though what he would do when he was rapping for the culture. Because listen, man, he white, man, but you know where he from, right? He from the deep, man. Like it is what it is with him. So, but when he rapping for the culture, that's when he's on these features and he's just giving it that raw. But when he's making albums, he's appealing to the masses, and which is different. So, I always gave him a free pass for that, because if he was hopping on your track, man, he was giving you nothing but fire. Like I've never seen him hop on something and fuck it up.
He's
man. He just
retarded.
Gave it to you, I loved it.
Did you hear his 11-minute freestyle he did recently?
Yes, sir.
Yo, he's retarded, yo. Like he's not of this planet, man. Like again, I know Wayne be talking about he ain't from this planet, but Eminem is on some other shit.
Eminem is a wordsmith, man. That's what he do.
Yeah, but my joint off the Blueprint it's for as soon as it hit, that shit had me. Ain't No Love in the Heart of the City, man. Like that fucking sample is just dirty, dude. That sample, bro. Like, and again, that album came out like right after the day of 9/11, if I'm not mistaken. It came out on 9/11, and like I just with everything that was going on, and Buff, I know you remember Buff. I used to live out BG.
Hey, you ain't gotta tell me about Buff.
Yeah.
Listen, funny story about Buff. We ain't gonna use his real name, so I can tell the story.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure him. I don't know. I can't tell the story for the podcast, but we had some fun. Me, Buff, Pug, Mac. We had some fun. Yeah. You might just have to shoot a group text out to them one night, man, to get the story on that.
Yeah, man. But Buff was so funny about Buff. Buff gave me a copy. He let me record. He let me make a tape. This is how far back it goes. I'm making a fucking cassette tape of the Blueprint. That's how far back this shit go, though. He had it. He was like, yo, I'm gonna let you get it, and then just bring it back to me when we get to Miss Handy's class in English. So I made the cut, and then I gave it back to him, and that's how I got the Blueprint. And I played that bitch out, dog. Like it, like that, and when that ain't the Heart of the City shit hit, man. That sample's nasty, dog. Bobby Bland sample is just, that shit was retarded. Kanye,
I have to play that shit in the background, man, as I go to sleep tonight.
Yeah, that unknown producer, super producer Kanye was doing this thing. And then
he was a dog, man.
And then
Kanye is amazing.
Yes, sir. And of course, my last album that, again, you mentioned it earlier, the Cafeteria Anthem, fucking Lord Willing. Clips, like that was, and I'll give him, and my honorable mention, since you gave 4, the Neptunes Presents the Clones album. That was like, that was my after we graduated, like between me going to the Air Force album right there. I used to play that shit out. My little brother would ride in the car with me. We'll drive wherever, and whether we run to McDonald's or run to Chesapeake Square, I was bumping that Nelly joint off of that. I just thought that like the Neptunes sound was just like monumental for me, and still to this day I'm impacted as a music producer by Pharrell. And like it doesn't hurt that, what I'm saying, they're from our area. So it's like, you're proud to say that shit.
Everything's from Virginia.
Yeah.
You can't sleep on this area, man, but we put out superstars at every arena.
Oh yeah, man.
Not even just Virginia, Tidewater specifically. You know what I'm saying? We gave you Allen Iverson, we gave you Percy Harvin, we gave you Pusha T, we gave you Pharrell, we gave you Missy Elliott, you gave you Timberland. What's up?
I'll go back even further. We gave you Bruce Smith.
Anything you want, man, we got it. We gave you Michael Vick. What's up?
We gave you Bruce Smith for Tecmo Bowl right there, man.
Come on, man.
Like,
you know what I'm saying? So now we just, it's an amazing, area of talent, man.
the first time I heard the song Virginia, it was at the end of it wasn't at the end of Grind, it was at the end of fuck video was that? The second single that they had out that shit. When the last time you heard it like this, yeah, that shit. When the last time.
Yeah, okay.
And they played Virginia at the end of that bitch. I was like, what is that fucking sound, yo? And the way the snares hit, like,
listen,
when that album hit, dude, us, when that shit come on, Pharrell be like, you ready to do this, nigga? You ready to come down here?
You ready to do this, nigga?
Like, yo.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you, me and Mac, man, senior year, going up to the Nazarene, we just that was the album, that was the anthem, you know what I'm saying? And before we went to school, every day we played that shit. They just heard we was in the car vibing. I'm from Virginia, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of pride in that, man. And it's something about VA, man. I mean, obviously, New York cats love where they from. Atlanta cats love where they from. Cali cats, everybody, I know they love their home, man. But that 757, man, it felt like an island, and I think it was what made it such an interesting place is there are so many military brats out there, so you didn't have that, my family's from here and all of that type of stigma. So everybody, we just made it our own, man.
Yeah.
Virginia is our shit,
Yeah, man. Like, that shit is, that album is always going to be classic for me. Like, I love, like, the other albums they came out with, but none more, man.
Oh, yeah, Lord Willin was the one.
Like,
they dope, but Lord Willin was the album.
That grind, I'm telling you, when grinding hit, man, I was like, yo, they're from Virginia Beach. They said, what? That close? Like 11th grade, then that Harlem Shake shit was big, bruh. that made high school so much fucking fun. We do that for I of course I'm the one banging on the tables. I was the beat maker. At lunch, Pug will get in the cipher and do it. Shout out to Rich, man. Shout out to Brownwater Porter, man. That mixtape is coming. The mixtape is coming. Y'all look out for that shit. My man is coming. He got some shit to say. And
he's a bad man.
Oh yeah, man. Businessman, artist, uncle, you name it, man. Son, he's amazing, bro. Love you, bro.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and just that, those high school days was fun. That was like that, and I always kept that way of making music to this day. For like when I come up with like a drum pattern, I have to be at like the cafeteria, because that's where I feel like it's the most genuine sound, you know what I'm saying, just to get that vibe and to get people going with it, man. Like to get people moving, that's really what, you know what I'm saying, aim to do. But that's
what music's about.
Yeah.
Music's about. So I feel
that's for a whole nother thing, man. But of course, before we get out of here, man, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Man, so I hope you think I was bullshit when I said this earlier, man. This Make Africa Home Again movement's going to be bigger than the NAACP.
Yes, indeed.
And that's the only way that I conceptualize things. I don't shoot for the fences or swing for the fences. I shoot for the stars. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, so in 5 years, what I would have hoped to accomplish, I would have hoped to have brought enough donors together to have bought land and property over in Africa to where we would have put together at least 10 trips back and forth between America and Africa with business entrepreneurs that are going to Africa to connect with the motherland, to get resources for their businesses to bring back to the States so we can start building these communities. So 10 trips, chartered flights from here to Africa with land and properties owned already in Africa. In 5 years, that's what I hope to accomplish business-wise. On a personal scale, in 5 years, my 15-year-old would have graduated. Both of my 13-year-olds would have graduated, and my 11-year-old will be on her way. I will be knocking on the door of my late 30s, approaching 40. So I would have hoped to just those kids in college, man, and just get out of debt, man.
Yeah.
Who wants to have that? Shed that shit. So no debt, 10 charter flights, and property over in Africa.
Yes, sir.
That's the goal.
Much respect. Last question, man, before I let you go. What legacy do you want to leave for your family? You know what you want to do as far as like the movement goes, but like what legacy do you want to leave for your family? What do you want to be remembered for?
Yeah, I've learned that your time can come any day, and I want it to be said that when that bell rings on Jason Fitch, man, I want it to be said that he changed the world. He was able to influence a culture of movement, to the point where it could be felt through communities. I really want to be transcendent, man. I want to be revolutionary. I don't want to be anything. Like, I don't want to be rich. I don't want to be super successful. I don't care about those things. I want to change the world, and I want to start with the communities in which I come from.
Right. All right, man. All right. Well, of course, man, I've had a blast doing the interview, bro. We could talk, we got the chemistry, it seems, so we can talk for hours, you know what I'm saying, about just about anything. So I definitely love to have you back on, you know what I'm saying, to come on to a podcast, man, like depending on, the topics that we do each week, especially the locker room, so we can definitely defend the Cowboys against anybody.
We could chop it up about anything you want. I am defend my Cowboys. We're going to host that. You'll see it.
Oh yeah. But like just ran anything, but even the 2 cents. That's 2 cents. That's the one where I cover like any main topics that's going on within the week or just going on at the time. But you're more than welcome, brother, to come back on for that one. But like I wanted to say, I appreciate you allowing me, man, to be one of the first to kind of get an inside look at what you're intended to do for the world, man. This shit is major, dude. It's global, and I look forward to the day when it comes into fruition. And like I said before, man, proud of you, bro. Love you, man. You know what I'm saying? Like it's wild to see, to look back on your life and where you started out just playing as little kids, and then now you have little kids that are out. Well, some of them are playing, some are inside. That's these kids today tend to be more inside. But just to see the fact that we become our parents in a sense. As to where we were at that point in time, and just how we're moving and trying to put our families in better positions for success, and success is defined by you. You know what I'm saying? It's not defined by how much money you have. It's not defined. You know what I'm saying? So like seeing my kid do whatever she wants to do with her life, that to me is success. I provided that. Like again, you talk about the D. That my kid lives in Detroit right now. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So again, just making sure her and her mom are straight. That's really all. All I care for, man. And I'm just, like I said, I'm just proud of the man that you become. And as far as like contact information, how would you? You got any contact information you want to give to the listeners?
Yeah, man. So the website is www.makeafricahomeagain.org. Visit the website, join our email list. The blog is coming soon. Like John said, man, we're at the infancy stage, so we're building this thing up. The Instagram page is Richie Fitch and MAHA_INC. So check us out, man, and join the movement. Like I said, you'll see right now we have hats for sale, but we're not a hat company, man. That's just we have to be able to bring this money to the table to be able to kind of see some of these dreams manifest. But once we get this train rolling, it's not going to stop, man.
Yes, indeed. You got anything left you want to say to the people before you close out?
Listen, just go out there every day, man. Be your best. Support each other. Go out there and talk to somebody. Make it a mission every day to say hi to at least 5 different people and ask about their story, be curious, learn what people are about, what they stand for, and that's what's going to make everybody better.
All right. Well, you already know this is Romy Mac. This is an interview with Rome. Another great episode. Be sure to check it out on YouTube and iTunes. And of course, we interviewed Jason and with Make Africa Home Again. And we out.